no idea the powers that be organized such an obvious cover-up. Thanks, Parker. Gonna keep digging. Where there's vamp smoke, there's vamp fire. Yeah, get it?
Let's see if you're as good as they say.
Ready for more? We've got plenty of tricks for old dogs. No excuses here. Later. Ready to work?
Let's see him try to handle me now.
Do your thing.
Hello?
Hey kid, a mutual friend needs our help.
Logan? But how did you get...
I have my ways. Look, you want to help or not?
Depends on the friend.
Aurora Monroe.
Hmm, of course. I'm free now.
Good. You know where to find us.
Where the trouble is.
Eliana, thank you for coming.
Aurora, you can always count on me.
A friendship for all seasons is a powerful thing. Thank the goddess for that. We miss you at the school. You are always welcome home.
I found my home with the Midnight Suns. But that does not mean I leave friends behind. What is the problem?
A year ago, the professor detected a mutant living here with dormant abilities. I met with her, a fierce young woman named Dahlia, and invited her to attend Xavier's school. She declined. The orphanage was all she knew. I came here today to see if she had changed her mind, but according to the orphanage, she disappeared 3 months ago.
Let me guess. As soon as her powers manifested.
It's my fault. I didn't want to push her, to take her away from the only place she felt safe. I thought she could hide in plain sight a bit longer. I was wrong.
You did what you thought was right. As you always do.
Dahlia would never harm another person. And now she slipped through the cracks. Another ghost in the wind.
This city is not kind to its ghosts.
Especially not when it's infested with vampires.
That's why we're gonna find her before they do.
They already found us.
Protect the children, at any cost. As if preying on the innocent wasn't enough for them. They come for the most vulnerable.
I would call them cowards, but they are just mindless scavengers looking for an easy meal.
I've got something they can chew on right here.
Ah, Logan. Together again. Just like old times.
Nothing to get worked up about down here. Yeah, that's right.
The forces of nature conspire.
Whatever works for you.
That must have taken practice. Is it my turn now?
I should have been more vigilant. Dahlia was on her own here, alone with her burgeoning abilities.
There was only so much you could do. Think how many mutants have faced the same difficulties.
All of them.
It seems a requirement of our upbringing to face such undeserved trials.
It falls to us to ensure that doesn't happen. Not here.
Very effective.
always had a soft spot for Xavier's recruits.
Your journey is over.
You don't want to get up. Satisfying tearing these things apart. I can't tell if they even care.
They may not care, but whoever lords over these pitiful creatures will miss them.
They're probably making more as quickly as we end them.
You're just a ray of sunshine today, kid.
I am always a ray of sunshine, reflected into your eyes.
That's... Nice move, bub. Whatever gets the job done.
Consider done.
Crude, but effective. That'll heal right up.
This vampire infestation couldn't have sprung up overnight. There are too many of them.
Blade
He seems to have fallen behind.
You can tell him yourself. I don't care to be growled at.
Want it done right, gotta do it yourself. You picked the wrong one, bub.
they say, it gets the job done.
Now it's mine.
You haven't lost a step, old man.
This will help you. Do not try me again.
At least we got here in time to protect the children.
Why bother protecting society's dregs? Hmm? It is beneath your stature.
Beneath me, all I see is you.
The new breed vampires are an evolution, just as mutants were before them. But vampires continue to grow. Mutants remain tethered to humanity, a broken branch on the evolutionary tree. These cast-offs are not your family. They are fuel. There is a food chain, and it is time we ate up. Surely you see it. Just as mutants push humanity ever closer to the ash heap, so too will this new breed. It is the natural order of this world.
There is nothing natural about what you've done.
Any mutant seeking to dominate humanity does not speak for us.
Ah, that is your mistake, not mine.
We will not be discouraged. You chose this path. Now you must follow it.
Prepare your...
How long have you been waiting to do that?
There are worse things than death, and I can make them happen for you.
Nice move, bub. your best shot.
Support units on the move. Is everyone ready for a good fight? Be happy you can still draw breath.
Together with me!
Not bad.
They still haven't realized their mistake.
I'm gonna rip you a new one.
Try through with your end.
You looking at me?
До свидания. Accept your fate.
Well, Granny hit harder than that. Here comes a few more.
It is the beginning of the end.
The elements bow to me.
Crude, but effective.
It's the best.
That must have taken practice.
Good work.
Practice that one on your brother? I've got a reputation to protect. Should do the trick. Just what I need.
A long way and no more wasted effort.
We're almost here. Hold position.
It looks like they've brought friends.
Gets on the other one. Too easy.
That will do. We will
They will learn to fear us.
That will do.
I call to the enemy.
Good work. It's better if you quit now. It seems they have brought more friends.
They're as good as done.
I will deliver you from the wrath.
As they say, it gets the job done.
Hope you're ready.
You will suffer.
More.
Whatever gets the job done.
I have no respect for mindless followers.
Got some more flunkies coming in.
The Even together, you're hardly a match for me.
Maybe it's time you quit this racket.
Now...
Look to the skies.
You would dare!
Brace yourself.
How long have you been waiting to do that? Whatever gets the job done.
We prevail. For now. Drop! That was a quarter of my power. I'm glad the training stayed with you.
The danger room left an impression. As you did with Sin. She won't be back.
It's why she was here in the first place that concerns me.
Agreed. This is bigger than us. If we're going to take on Sin,
And find Dahlia.
we need reinforcements.
Most of the X-Men are off-planet dealing with the Shi'ar brood war.
Don't worry. The Midnight Suns will help.
Storm, is it?
Indeed. You must be the hunter. Magic told me about you.
Why does that make me nervous?
Nothing but good things, I promise. Thank you for welcoming me into your home. I must say, this place is unlike anything I've seen before. There is an air of mystery and wonder, but it feels welcoming and safe all at the same time. How curious.
The Abbey is special. It even holds secrets that I have not uncovered.
Sounds unique indeed. I can already see the similarities between here and Xavier School. Speaking of, what do you think is the most interesting part of the Abbey?
Those who reside here make each day interesting and fresh.
Yes, the people are the lifeblood of a community. I can say the same for Xavier School as well. The students are all colorful characters.
There's never a dull moment in these halls.
If there was ever silence, I would grow worried. Apologies. I have been dominating the conversation. Have you any questions for me?
Yes, I have a few.
By all means, ask away.
Can you tell me about your background?
I won't go into too much detail, but I was left orphaned as a child. I learned how to fend for myself and became a skilled pickpocket.
You stole from others?
To survive, and it worked. I scraped by. After a few years, my mutant abilities presented themselves, and I was approached by Xavier to join the X-Men. The rest is history.
I feel like you were leaving some parts out.
Perhaps. My past is just that. It is behind me, and I prefer to focus on what is ahead.
I saw bright lights coming from your hands. What was that?
It's a little complicated, but I have the power to control the weather and atmosphere. What you saw back there was electricity.
Wow, that is amazing. Now I understand the meaning behind your name.
Thunder and lightning don't roll off the tongue as easily.
You said your powers are complicated. May I ask how?
Maybe I'll go into full detail another time, but let's just say I can't mess with Mother Nature too much.
I see. Like checks and balances?
Exactly.
What is your given name?
Aurora Monroe. What about yours?
The Hunter.
Short and sweet. I like it.
Does your name hold any significance like mine does?
I was told it meant beauty. A little embarrassing, but I understand the intent.
I changed my mind.
The offer still stands.
I put out some feelers for Dahlia. Kid won't be missing for long.
Hello, Hunter. I hope you are well.
I was hoping to ask you some questions.
By all means, ask away.
I changed my mind.
The offer still stands. Hunter, have you seen much of the outside world?
Not much. The Abbey has been my home for centuries. I have not had a chance to travel.
It doesn't help that you were asleep for so long. Once this is all over, I'm sure we can make up for lost time. Unless you don't have the desire to explore.
Absolutely. I'm waiting for the right opportunity.
Look at a map and start making a list. We'll take a road trip.
A car full of heroes sounds like chaos.
That's why I'll be flying. Someone has to be your GPS. Or, I'm sure Magic wouldn't mind opening a portal for a day trip sometime.
I do not know. She might take some convincing.
She rarely says no to me. I had a fantastic time. Well done.
I hope we locate Dahlia soon. So, what do you think of Storm?
am eager to work alongside her.
She has that effect on people.
Even on you.
She was my mentor. Of course I respected her. But it had to be earned first. Some leaders blather on to avoid making tough decisions. But not Storm.
Well, she did not go into much detail about the extent of her powers, but they sound impressive.
Impressive? She is 100% grade A badass.
100 badasses. Got it.
Ah, you are hopeless.
Real shocking turn of events, eh, Hunter? The storm puns are brewing. Don't you worry.
I was hoping we could get to know each other.
Of course. I am available to answer any questions.
So you're an open book, huh? You don't find it hard opening up to people.
It is easier to open up around those who make me feel comfortable.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Easier to read the room and see what's worth revealing.
You make it sound strategic.
Navigating relationships require a little bit of scheming.
May I ask you a question now?
By all means.
Your powers are unlike anything I have ever seen. It is incredible. Was it difficult honing them?
You flatter me. I've learned to control my powers, just like our colleagues in the Abbey. While my abilities are impressive, they can be strenuous.
How so?
Apologies, Hunter. That is something I'd like to keep to myself.
We are still establishing boundaries. There is no need to tell me right away.
Thank you for respecting them. Answers will come in due time.
Lucky for us, I am not going anywhere.
I sure hope not, prophecy killer. I think that's enough for now. Your patience will be rewarded, Hunter. Just not today.
How's it going? I still can't believe Tony Stark is here. In the Abbey with us. Crazy, isn't it?
That is one way to describe him.
I mean, the guy's the richest, smartest dude on the entire planet. At least according to his website. I don't know. You think maybe he'd be able to do me a favor? After we save the world, I mean.
As with anyone, Robbie, I would think it would depend on what exactly you are asking for.
Yeah, I know, but he's Tony Stark. People probably ask him for stuff all the time. I don't want to be that guy.
Those people do not fight by his side.
It's not even for me. It's for my brother Gabe. He's paralyzed from the waist down. The only wheelchair I can afford right now is not exactly the deluxe model. Was hoping Tony could maybe help build Gabe some upgrades when this is over. Repulsor beam's optional.
Stark is loud and foolish, but he has a good heart. Talk to him. If he can help your brother, I'm sure he will.
Yeah, we'll see. Thanks, Hunter.
Forward to our next mission.
This is how I spend my free time.
You have called yourself a leader many times.
I've been in the position where I needed to make decisions for a team.
I'm sure you have made many tough calls.
I do what I can with the information I have. The same could be said of you.
You are right. Knowing what the right thing to do is tricky.
I always go with my gut.
Has it ever been wrong?
Oh, yes. But it's not the end of the world. Maybe in the case of your mother it is, but special circumstances.
Have you ever made a mistake?
Who hasn't? Nobody is perfect. I've made my fair share of mistakes, and have done my best to learn from them. Does it always work? No. I am curious to hear how you handle failure.
I make sure my team knows I'm sorry for letting them down.
Sorry is nice, but action is what makes the apology count.
Of course. I will make sure not to make the same mistake again.
There you go. We'll be here to catch you if you fall. Give yourself some credit, Hunter. You're doing just fine. Find me again for next time.
What is it, Charlie? Find something? Who is a good girl? It is my Charlie girl.
Hey, can I ask a favor? Thanks, Hunter. Got more coil for me? Oh, now this didn't work. This is some of my best work.
Until next time. Something to keep us occupied?
Not my best work, but it'll do. I'm here if you need me. So, what did you have in mind?
A task for us? Not exactly infinities. I'm happy to help, Hunter.
Maybe I'll teach you a thing or two.
Time to take it to the next level. We've got plenty of tricks for old dogs. No excuses here.
This will do.
All right then.
How quaint.
Maybe you can give them a lesson they won't forget.
Not a problem. You were too weak for this fight. It is too late. They cannot possibly match your strength.
No mercy for the servants of Lilith.
How invigorating.
I'll make quick.
Now that was something.
Look to the skies.
Leave some for the rest of us.
Don't get up, even if you can.
Regroup at position Tango.
Your time is coming.
Awaiting reinforcements.
Don't let your guard down. There's still more coming.
Fear. Don't cross my path again. So this won't take long.
I am impressed.
You've left me no choice.
I saw a move like that once, centuries ago.
Now remember who started this.
They cannot possibly match your strength.
Be my.
Now that was something.
I doubt they'll take that beating to heart, but we can always hope.
Hunter.
Good to see you.